Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Casper, my partner. Mgosinati Mdleleni from Trevor Manuel Primary School in Fisande Crown. When I mentioned Fisande Crown, I learned that some of the people, especially my colleagues, don't even know where the place is. It's just closer to Devonville. And I'm sure Casper is going to introduce and speak more about where he comes from, but I must say, firstly, I was honored to work with him, in so much that when we speak now and again, I even said to him earlier on, or even before today or this evening, that time flies. So time went very, very quickly. So I'm sure we will continue with this partnership longer.
Cool, thanks, Kosinati. Yeah, so I have no idea where Fisande Crown is, and obviously I'm an immigrant in that country. You might hear that from my accent. But actually, first, just want to share that just becoming aware, it feels quite weird standing in front of you here, because throughout that year we've had all these meetings, and we usually were in circles, at least with the other partners and principals, and we shared quite intimate moments. At least it felt for me like that. We opened up quite a bit, and those were beautiful moments, and those were the moments where like real vulnerability came out. And now standing in front is a different mind or a different setup, but it's also fun. So I want to lead you a little bit through the journey that we had, and then give back to Kosinati for some of the learnings.
Sure.
So obviously we started, and I felt actually very anxious. Yeah, I was an immigrant, I'm young, I had no clue about the South African educational system. Like, literally, I didn't know anything about it. But when I heard the concept behind Partners for Possibility, and having always been a bit on a quest for meaningfulness in my life, like impact, especially in that country, I felt like, wow, this is it. And I met Kosinati, and that was just great. But I felt even a bit more intimidated. It was like, what can I bring to the table, to that school and those challenges? And so I found one of the first meetings after I went to the school, I invited him to the company that I was working for, and I told Kosinati, let's just tell me about the challenges. And we had a whiteboard which was maybe like this big at the company, and like I started writing, big letters, and then 10 minutes later I'm like down here in these little letters. And luckily we had a whole window front where we could continue with all the challenges that the school was facing. And I feel most of those challenges will feel very familiar to you, and we tried to categorize them, and I just stood there and said, whoa, yeah, where do we start? I think like many other partnerships. And then we said, well, okay, let's use this and not come from that challenge mindset, what we've always learned through Partners for Possibility, but let's look at the possibility, the solution mindset. And we just thought about what could we do. And there's once again so many amazing programs that we could have done, and we said, okay, what do we actually want to do? And because of a bit of my background, I wrote my master thesis on e-learning. We decided let's do something about e-learning. Let's use the power of e-learning to address some of these challenges. And we thought all of these challenges we can somehow address with the e-learning initiative, especially building commitment from the community, and building commitment from the learners and the teachers, and getting the learners excited. Yes, and then we said, well, let's ask the teachers about it. Actually, Kosinati said, let's do a strategy session with the teachers, and we had that whole community hall together, and that was an amazing experience for me. And he asked me to facilitate. And it was really mind-blowing, because I kind of walked in. I didn't know the teachers well. That was pretty early in the journey still. And we did a lot of exercise around how should the school look like, what's your dream school. And they were really quite creative. So first we had them break up into groups, and they gave each of the groups a name, and then we started drawing them. And also, I quickly want to share just one moment which really stuck with me in terms of Kosinati's leadership. So as we did these exercises and I was facilitating, at some point I became aware that some teachers were really motivated. And, you know, motivation is good. But at some point, it almost became a bit, wow, yo, what's going on? There seems to be some almost like political, it felt like somebody was giving a political speech. And I was just standing there and say, okay, I'm just going to listen, because that's a space that we give as a facilitator. You don't really intervene. And then finally became aware some of the teachers were using that stage a bit for their own political messages, you know, and were shooting quite directly at Nkosinati. And I was like worried, like, what is Nkosinati going to do? Is he going to stand up now and shut this down? And he didn't. And I thought there was an absolutely amazing like sign and behavior of leadership, you know, even though you've got these people there, you respect the process and you don't shut it down. That's something that a very authoritative leader would do. But yeah, it left us quite. I remember how we were in the room afterwards. I said, well, I didn't see that coming. But what came out is kind of lots of ideas, and leadership and IT were constant appearances among the teachers as well. So we said, let's do it, you know, let's just get this going, and easy peasy. I mean, I sent you all an email once about the IT initiative, let's go. And then, yeah, this happened, back to reality. Yeah, there's lots of challenges. I moved actually from there to another company, which is in the deep south, so meeting became a bit more difficult. And we also realized IT, these tangible results, it's great. But for example, with the leadership, with having people in the SMT undermining the principle, that might be the more difficult problem to tackle and the more important. And so we talked a lot about that and used the sessions, which were amazing. I mean, I still feed off these Partners for Possibility consulting sessions and Time to Listen, and try to actually get to the ground of the problem there. And now, yes, we feel like we're at the start again, once again. It looks familiar. But yeah, for me it's been an amazing journey. I've learned a lot. I almost feel a bit egoistic because I've soaked up so much about South Africa's education, the challenges that Nkosinati is facing, and the sadness of how the system is failing many of the schools, many of the principals, and yeah, leaving with a very strong commitment to just keep on going. You know, there's so much to be achieved, and just out of that room there's so much inspiration that comes like, oh, that's one thing we could have done as well, and that thing, and that's really amazing, that energy in that room.
I think I just need to thank Casper for his courage, and I also don't despair. I think I like when he says, this looks familiar to most of my colleagues in the room, and I'm sure we are moving on with the partnership beyond this time, all right? And again, I think we are going to sit down with Casper again and plan as from 2017 what is going to take place. And again, I think Casper has forgotten this. With some of the COP sessions which have been organized, Nikki, there was a time where I couldn't attend, especially the 2 days community building session, which I am looking forward to attend it next year still, because I found that to be valuable from what I've picked up from my colleagues. So I need to thank Casper very much.
Thank you.
And thanks for having him.
Thank you.